Good evening, friends. Welcome to JTC India YouTube live classes. So, yesterday what I was discussing about the JVM memory management, correct? And firstly, you all can share your this one so that others can get connected fastly. Okay. So guys, here first, as I was talking about the JVM memory management, what is that? JVM memory management. We were talking about these two things, that is the JVM memory management. Yesterday what I have explained to you is the basic things related to the memory allocation, and I'll just give you a small overview of the yesterday's class, and in between that, guys, you just share with your friends. And today, those who were not understanding the JVM memory management in yesterday's class, you will understand it completely today, because as I was saying it here, I'll write the complete programs, and based on that programs I'll be explaining you how JVM is going to be processed here, right? So I'll just give you one basic overview of the things here, guys. Have a look. So in meanwhile, you just shared, all of you just share with your friends, and so that all of us can get connected. Okay. And fine. Hello Rohit, Abhimanyu and all. So guys, here यार एक इम्पॉर्टेंट बात ये है कि आप लोग अगर इन चीज़ों में आपको अगर जैसे इंटरेस्ट आता है तो आप थोड़ा सा एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट अगर करते हो तो हमें भी थोड़ा सा इंकरेजमेंट मिलता है, हम लोग भी थोड़ा हार्ड वर्क करते हैं. एंड सिंस देन आप एकदम साइलेंटली पड़े रहते हो. हाँ, आपके कुछ अगर फीडबैक्स हैं, कुछ सजेशंस हैं, सो if you share that through the mail or in a comment box, in your chat box, so definitely we will be taking care of, correct? And if you are getting any problem in attending these classes and all other sort of things, so that we will be taking care of all that sort of things, correct? It is. So that's the reason we are keeping it from 9 o'clock, so that all of you from the different colleges, anywhere, you can attend these classes and you can actively participate in all that, correct? Okay. Anyways, now, so because all it matters is your interest. And see, if when you are understanding today's topic, so all the previous classes what we have done here, you will get mostly revision of all the sort of things, correct? So you will get the revision of all these things. And again, so let's start with the JVM memory management. What yesterday I have explained you in case of JVM memory management. See here, when I'm saying memory management, right? So memory we are talking about, for whom we are talking about the memory? We are talking about the memory of different members of a class. What is that? Memory for whom we are talking? We are talking about the class and its members, correct? In a class, what all different members we are writing, based on that, what we will do, that we will allocate the memory, we will do the other things inside that, and that is the all other things we will be looking it into this. Fine. So here, guys, one thing what you have to understand in this is, when we are talking about some memory, two important phases are there. What is that now? Two important phases are there in the case of memory allocation, right? And that is the two important phase. Number one is the what at the time of, what is that? Class loading. At the time of, number one is the class loading. What all things, how memory is being allocated at the time of class loading time. And again now, what all things are happening at the time of object creation. The second important point here is, at the object creation, what all things are happening. So at the time of class loading, what is going to happen, and at the time of object creation, what is going to happen. These two are the very, very important case that yesterday I have explained here, guys. So in today's class, I'll explain each of these things very categorically by writing the different set of examples into these cases here, correct? Okay. So let's understand how those things are processing into that, how these things are coming into that. And guys, see, if in between that you are getting any kind of questions, any doubts you are getting, keep on writing in the chat box, guys, so that we can answer your questions as much as possible. If you are writing in the chat box, we will be in a better manner, we can answer you, correct? Okay, so let's understand the thing here, how things are working and how it is going to be implemented. Okay, so what I'll do here now, I'll write one example in order to explain these both things. What is this both things? The one is at the time of class loading and the second one is the object creation. These both things I am going to explain by writing one example. All the members of a class, what all different members inside a class we are writing, different methods we are writing, constructors we are writing, all these different sort of things, whatever we are writing here, that all things as I am going to explain here. So just have a look here in this. Now, look at this example now. I'm just opening the Eclipse. Okay, let it open once. Just a second. Okay, here. What I will do here now, I'm writing one new project as I'm creating here. So let's say I'm writing here that is the Java memory management or JVM memory management here. Fine. Okay, well here at present you can see here the version what we are using is the JDK 9 we are using. We are clicking on next. And after that here now I'm just allowing it. Okay, I'm not creating it. Okay, let's done it here. Then again in the next inside this here you will find few more things inside this. Here I'm writing few classes. So let's see here. com.jtc.p1 I am writing one class, and here one more class, something called as the JTC class I have written here. This is one class, one thing which I have created into this, which I have written all these things inside this, correct? Now just have a look here, guys. I hope it is visible to all of you and all of you are able to watch it in these cases here. First, So I'm just increasing the font of these all things so that you all can okay, now here you can have a look. See, first, what are the programs as I'm going to write inside this? That you need to understand it first here. So see, what I'll do is, I'm going to write one program, I'm going to write one class. In that class, almost you can say all the members of a class I'm going to define, which could be either some instance variables or the static variables or the methods, constructors, blocks, local variables, and all these sort of things as I'm going to write it here. Okay, so let's have a look here. I'm writing a class. The name of this class, what I have written is the hello. Hope you are getting it, correct? You have written one class and the name of this class is hello. I am writing here inside this int of a as I am declaring, and inside this int of a I am not assigning any value. So int of a, b, and static int c is equal to, let's say, 30 I am writing here. One static variable as I am declaring. What is this static variable I am declaring? Okay. Inside this IB in class called as the hello, we are writing it here. Next, one more static block I am writing, SB in class called as the hello I am writing. Okay. Next, after this here, void of M1 method I am writing. Here M1 in which class now? Class hello I am writing. One more static method I am doing here. Void of M2 I am writing. Inside this now I am writing M2 in class hello as I am going to write it here. So well, I have written here M1, I have written here the M2, these two things as I am writing it inside this, correct? Now well, after this here I am writing void of, okay, one more thing here now. Now let me write few constructors inside the class. One which is a default constructor I have written. So see here, what is the default constructor I am writing? The default constructor which I am writing is the, you can say, default constructor in class hello, or you can say the good evening Dhirinder. One more I am writing here which is int of a, well, int of b. Here just keep it the name so that int of a as well as int of b something. So here at present I have given only one here. Now in this case, one parameterized constructor in class here, that's what I have written here, the hello. Okay, and next associated with this I am writing one more int of a1 and int of b1 here. This is also one more thing I have written, and here you are writing two parameterized constructor in class hello. Okay, this is one more thing which you are writing here. What next I am doing here? A is equal to a1, and next is a is equal to a1 and b is equal to b1. I am going to write it here. So these following things as I have written, a is equal to a1 as well as the b is equal to b1 I am writing. Okay. Now apart from this, what else I am trying to write here is void of show method. Inside this now I am writing here the show inside class called as the hello, and here it is the show one more. I am writing show one, you can say, and this particular one I am declaring it as an static. I am writing here this one as an static. Well, so I have written here few things here. What is that few things I have written here now? And well, inside this case also I'll write show one in which class now? Class hello I have written inside this. That is the show one inside the class hello I am writing. Fine? Okay. Now this is one class which I have declared. Inside this now, almost you can say all the different types of members, whatever is we can write inside this class, we have written here. Now other than that, we can declare, or I am declaring few more local variables. So int of, here you can just have a look, int of a1 is equal to, let's say, or I am writing a11 is equal to 101 I am writing, and here one more, that is the local block which I have given here. And in this local block what I want to write here is, that is local block in which one now? Instance block. Local block in instance block I am writing, and again here inside the static block also I am just writing few more things. Int of b11 is equal to, here 202 I am writing, correct? Okay. This is the local variables as well as the class level variables, blocks, all these different types of variables members inside the class we have defined, correct? And again one more here, local block I am declaring, which is an local block in which class now? Static block. Got it here? That is local block in the static block, I am writing it inside this. Fine. After doing this here now, first, now there are again many things what here we can talk about. So I'll be coming to each one of them one by one. Here you see first, show which is there is an instance method. What is the show? It is an instance method. And when I am saying that is the show is an instance method, so what I am trying to do here, guys, understand it, A, here B I am writing, and well again I am writing that is the C I am writing inside this, correct? So that is A, B and C, all these things I have written here. A static variable as well as the static variable and then the instance variable, both I am accessing inside the instance method. At present I am calling M1 method also inside this, and well associated with this I am calling here M2 method also with this. So well I have called here M1 method also as well as M2 method, both of them I have called it in this cases, correct? Now here the same piece of code, what I want here to write it inside the A, B and C, all these things I am going to write it inside this, correct? So when I am writing A, B and C, so see here A which is there I am commenting it, B I am commenting it, C and C. Here M1 also I am commenting it at present. Initially I am commenting, or let's not comment it. We will understand the reason why it is giving the error here. At present we know, what we know, that instance member of a class cannot be accessed directly inside the static context. And when I am saying here A and B, when I am talking about A and B, so this A and B which is there is the instance variables of a class, and that instance variables of a class we are trying to access inside that method. So what is this now? A and B, what we have, this both are the instance variables, and that what we are doing is trying to access inside this show method here, and since it is a static method, so this will not allow to access anything. Okay. Now here I'll just do one more thing. I'm writing one more variable called as A is equal to 999 something I am writing. int of b is equal to 888 I am writing, c is equal to something 777 I am writing. These three variables as such I have written into this. Now here I am writing a, b and c here. We will see all these things, why I am writing and what is the reason behind that. Okay, all that things we are going to see, or all these things we are going to discuss into this, correct? Okay. Now here, one thing you need to understand here first. Inside this class, inside this local block, you have written some local variables a11, and again you are writing some local blocks. So anything which is there inside any instance block or inside the static block and all, anything it is there. So that what we are going to call this as a local variable and local block, we are calling it as an, what we are going to call local variable and local block, we are going to call this. Remember one point, that inside this or this local block or this local variable, anything is going to be processed only when this all local variable as well as the local block is going to be processed only when that its corresponding context is being processed. Corresponding context is being processed means what? When this particular instance variable which is there, whenever this instance block which is there, when it is being processed, then only these local variables or the block available inside this instance block is going to be processed. One question Dhirendra is asking, will JVM consider int a as a static variable? A, where is the a we have declared? Are you talking about this a, or you are talking about any other a? If you talk about this a, so no, this is an instance variable, and we are talking about this, suppose here that is the b11 we are talking about, so this is the local variable, this will not be considered as an instance variable or static variable, correct? Now next one, if we will understand here, if inside the static method show1 we have declared a and b here, so this a and b what we have written here is not or will not be considered as an instance variable or the static variable. This is a simple local variable itself. This is a simple local variable itself. We can write this as a local variable here, nothing else other than that. So here again when I am writing here, so let me come to that point. Okay, so we need to understand how and when memory is being allocated for this, and when memory is being, when other things are being processed. Here you can have one more point here. See, inside this local block, I am writing a, we are able to access it. I am accessing b, we are able to access it. Well, I want to access c, I can access it here, and one more thing I am trying to access, a11 I am trying to access, that also I am able to access here, correct? But here in this itself, a12 I am writing is equal to, suppose something 8989 something I have written here, correct? So this 8989 I'll try again to access here, where a12 I am writing here, correct? So let me write it here, a12 I have written here and a12 I am trying to access. But see here, the same variable a12 I am trying to access outside this local block. Which local block? The block wherever it's been declared. a12 it's been declared inside the local block. So I want to write outside this here. So I'm accessing a12 here. But you see, or you just have a look that this a12 we will not be able to access Why we will not be able to access? We will understand. At present I am not commenting all these things. One by one we will be discussing all these sort of things, whatever we are writing here, whatever we are initializing, and whatever things we are processing it here. Just have a look here. Now at present, the very first thing what I'll try to do here in this, the number one is, let's say I'm writing here, or else I'm just doing one thing, hello.m or hello.show1 method I'm writing. What is that I'm writing? Hello.show1 method I'm writing. So I'm trying to access, what I'm trying to access? Show1 method I'm trying to access. With which one I'm trying to access this show1 method? By name of class I'm trying to access. And show1 is what? The show1 whatever I have written here, this is the static method. The show1 whatever as such I have written here, this is the static method inside this. I am writing all this inside these cases here, right? So show1 whatever as I have written here, that is the static method, well, I am writing here, and that is what now we need to look at this, we need to understand it here. Fine. So see here first. Okay, well, now I am writing few more things. Hello h1 is equal to new hello. I am creating, let's say, one object of a class. Hello of h2 is equal to new of hello. In that, suppose some value I have given, and hello of h3 is equal to new of hello. I am writing, so here also some value I am giving here, and then again few more values as I am trying to give here into this. So this is the different values which is there that we have given inside this, that we are doing all these things inside this, correct? So the different types of value, different sort of things we have written here. Now we will, at present, what I'll do now, I am commenting this all. I have commented this following lines, 3 lines. Yes, Rameshwar, you can declare local variable of a class as in final. There is no problem at all. It can be declared. Local variable of a class can be declared as an final. There is no issue at all. There is no problem at all with that. Okay. Now again, let me come to that point. What is that here? See. Here what I'll do now, so if we will understand everything here, so the question is which class is being loaded first in all these things, when all these classes are being loaded first. So when we are running this program, so definitely your JTC class which is there will be loaded first here, correct? Now you guys, you can do one thing. You can remember this because I'll now explain on the board. So you can just remember this program because these programs will not be there in front of the, that we will discuss Rameshwar. So here now we have written these all different things here, different class variables, members and all other sort of things we have written here. So one by one we are going to discuss these all things, correct? Okay. So here I am again. So let's have a look into this. Say here now. I am writing here, say. Here first, as yesterday we have discussed, whenever JVM starts, did you remember the program that what we have written? Mostly you would have, okay? So one by one I'll explain to each one of them. So say for example, when I'm writing class or when I'm trying to do anything here, so whenever JVM starts, it takes some memory from your operating system, guys, correct na? It is taking some memory from your operating system. and that further memory which is there will be divided into the following parts, two parts. One is the stack memory and second one which is there is the heap memory. What is that one? So see here, this generally see here, this is your, let's consider here, this is your main memory. Here we are considering it as your, what is this now? Main memory. This is one memory which I have declared into this. It's a main memory. I am writing here main memory. This memory which is there will be further divided into two parts. The two parts, what is it is? Stack memory and next one which I am writing is the heap memory I am writing. What is that now? Heap memory. In a very simple and short, you are understanding all that. Fine. Okay. So now first what it is trying to do, that it will try to load the class, which class you are trying to run. So if suppose the program whatever I have written, in that in general I have written here two classes. The one class which you have written is the hello. Here one class what you have written is the hello you have written. And second one what you have written, one more class, that is the class JTC something you are writing here. So the class what is there here is the hello and second one what you are writing is the JTC. Two classes as such I am writing inside this, correct? This is the two classes I am writing. Is it visible to everyone? Okay. Next one again. So I have written public static void main inside this class called as the JTC class I have written, correct? We have written that class inside this. So whenever we have written these things like public static void main inside this class, so definitely this class we are going to run with this name. So first this class called as JTC class is only being loaded first. The class JTC itself is being loaded first, correct? So here first what it will do, yesterday what we have seen, see one inside the stack frame, that class which is there and it's the member of its class will be placed inside the stack frame. And see here I am writing here say class JTC I am writing. This is one class I have written called as JTC, correct? And after writing this class JTC inside this, I want to write few more things inside this. What is that few more things you are writing in this? Say here. And now see, there is one method. So here this method who is calling? This main method who is calling this? This main method JVM is calling here, correct? So definitely this main method which is there will be placed inside, guys, this main method which is there, any method if anyone is calling. So internally JVM is calling the main method, correct? So this main method is going to be placed inside the stack frame in the stack memory, correct? So here I am writing this one here, you see. So what is this now? Public static void main. Here it's been, we are writing here, correct? After writing all these things, here inside this now we have string of arg. This is what we are having inside this, guys. Okay. Now suppose here the dotted line as I am drawing, correct it is? The dotted line, whatever I am representing here, this dotted line, whatever I am representing here, this I am naming it as a stack frame. All of you are getting it or not? बता तो दो इतना, सब लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? बस ऐसे ही मैं बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि जो जब से ये टॉपिक स्टार्ट हुआ है, व्यूवरशिप जो आप लोग देख रहे हो उसमें काफ़ी कम लोग देख रहे हैं ना, स्पेशली ये टॉपिक में इतना कम कभी नहीं रहता है। तो ये समझ में आ रहा है आप सब को या नहीं आ रहा है, या फिर क्वेश्चन क्या है, प्रॉब्लम क्या है उसमें, अगर इफ़ यू शेयर इट बेटर so we can explain you properly, correct? It is because generally when we are teaching here in the live form or in front of camera, when we are teaching, so we are not able to understand your mindset, how you are thinking, what. So if the live people are watching more, we will understand more number of students are watching. It means all are understanding. If less number of people are watching, we will understand that okay, no, these topics are not clear to everyone or they are not able to understand properly, so that's the reason less number of people are watching, correct? So if you are not able to understand, or if this topic something you are not liking or anything like that, it is what you can do is you can write in the chat box, write your suggestions, write your things, write your questions, whatever question comes to you, and that definitely we will try to include all that things. We will try to solve that all other sort of things, correct? Because for us, again I'll say the motivation is how many of you are watching live, and then only we can stand here and we can teach here, means night 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, correct? So anyways, so hope so all is good. Okay, now here next what I'll do here, so inside this what you have done, you have called a method hello dot show one method you are calling. What you are calling? Show one method you are calling. Which one method you are calling? Hello dot you are calling, that is the show one method you are going to call here, correct? So whenever, now you guys tell me one thing here, if I am calling, what I am calling here? Hello dot, which one now I am calling? Show one method I am calling. Are you getting it? If I am calling this hello dot show one method, so what will be done now? With the name of class, we have called one method. So internally what all things JVM is going to do, guys? Internally what all things JVM is going to do? Whenever we are calling here, that is hello.show. And one more thing today itself I will tell you. Tomorrow onwards we will start a topic called as inheritance. So those who are new, they will also understand everything, and those who are attending from a long time, they will also understand. And we will start from tomorrow, called as inheritance we will start, correct? So the topic which is there is the inheritance that we are starting from tomorrow. So you can look at it into this tomorrow's class, okay? So here at present today I am discussing this. So if I am calling here hello.show, what I am calling? Hello.show method I am calling here. So see what is happening inside this. First it will check. Who will check? JVM will check internally that the class hello. Which class hello? Because you are calling a static method of class hello. So it will first check whether the class hello is being loaded into the main memory or not. The class hello which is there has been loaded into the main memory or not. First we need to understand that. We need to get it into that. How it is working, what all the other again things are there, that we need to again get it into this here, correct guys? So just have a look now. You are writing here hello dot show method you have written here. What is that you have written? Hello dot show method you are writing. So first it will check whether the class hello is loaded or not. Now class hello which is there has not been loaded, so it will try to load the class first. So here I am taking class hello. Now you see here, one thing yesterday what we were discussing, whenever it is trying to load the class, at that time one default object suppose will be created of type java.lang which is class. This is one default object is being created here. So I'm writing again inside this. What is that I'm writing? Class hello I'm writing. Inside this class hello, now when it is being loaded, so which member of a class will get memory first? Whenever a class is being loaded, which member of a class is getting memory first? Tell me in the chat box. At the time of loading the class, which member of a class will get memory first? Any answers from your side? Very good. So static member of a class is going to get the memory first into this, correct? So this will get memory. So inside the class hello, we were having one more static variable, and that static variable was something called as the C was the static variable we were having. So here C, for the C, memory is being allocated, and inside this C, what we were writing is the 30 we are writing here. Inside this static variable, inside this heap memory, we are writing the static variable called as the C. For this memory has been allocated now. Now guys, you see here, the static blocks of a class will be processed. A static block of a class is going to be processed here. So we are having one more static block here, and we want this block to be processed. And you can just match up with this example here. So we are now again, so inside this stack frame, what will happen now? Static block, we are writing here, that is the static block. The static block inside this stack frame is going to be placed. When I am talking about this static frame, so I'll write here int of b11 is equal to something called as the 202 I have written, correct? And this was the local variable inside this. This was the local variable inside this static block. This was the local variable inside this static block, guys, here, correct? This was the local variable inside this static block. Fine. So this local variable b11 will get memory into this local context 202 itself. Inside this static frame itself, it is going to get the memory. And then what is happening inside this, if any local block is there, anything is processed, and whenever, what will happen, whenever your control comes out of this, immediately what happens, the memory allocated for this b11 which is there, for this b11, whatever the memory has been allocated will be destroyed. The allocated memory for the b11 which is there will be destroyed. Are you getting my point? And that is the reason why we will not be able to access this local variables outside the static block, because for this yet memory itself is not allocated, so we won't be able to access this outside the block, outside the class or anywhere. We won't be able to access in that case. Once this class and these variables, whatever we have here, okay, now here you see. Now, so okay, so at the time of loading the class, what things needs to be done, that is completed here. Inside this static block, we have written everything. There is no problem at all in these cases. But again now, again inside this case, what is further things we are talking about here? Guys, have a look now. So say for example, I am creating one more object of a class. So say here, this static variable gets the memory. First one, static block is being processed, and now static method turn is to process the static method here. So here I am processing this static method inside this class. What is the static method we are going to process here? We are writing here, what is that we are writing now? Static void of show one I am writing. This is a static block I am writing here, correct? Static method I am writing. Now remember here now, if inside this static method, hope it is visible to everyone. If inside this static method, if I am able to access, if I am accessing A. So if you remember A which was there in a class hello, I have declared, what I have declared? As an instance variable. And see, till now, is that any memory for instance variable has been allocated? No, it's not been allocated. So we will not be able to access this one. But yes, at the same time, if I'll write here the C, so we can access C and it will get the memory from here because it's been already allocated in this process. And if any local variable you are declaring inside this show one method, so after processing it, immediately what it happens, your control comes out of this, the local variable memory allocated, what you have written inside this show one method will be destroyed. There is no problem at all in these cases, correct? Now I am writing here, see, if suppose h1 is equal to new of hello you are writing. So see, the processing, what it is going to do, it is going to do the same processing as whatever I have explained to you in the, where now I have explained it inside the, where? At the time of object creation, what all things are happening, that already I have explained here. What all things are happening at the time of object creation, that all things we have explained it inside this cases, correct? But here now, what you will see now first is, like if we have written it here, the B1 and all. So when you are creating the object, so first thing what it is going to do, h1, a local variable. h1 is what? A local variable. Where it is a local variable? Inside this method. So inside this null will be assigned. What is being assigned? Null is being assigned inside this case, correct? And once this null is being assigned, so again it will process the constructor, and all of these members are going to be processed in a similar manner, in the same form it is going to be processed. Is it okay? And you see here, so inside the heap memory, I am just concluding it here. Inside the heap memory, following things are going to get the memory. Make it the list. In heap memory, following things are going to get the memory. How these following things are going to get the memory? Number one, here, static variables. Second one now, second important thing you can say, that is the object creation will be done inside the heap memory. When I am saying object creation, so if I am saying object creation, which includes what all things it includes? It includes your instance variable and all. So you can say that is, and you can say here that is the instance variable. So these things are, and apart from these, everything, all the sort of things are being placed inside the stack memory with its own appropriate location, with its own appropriate processing. Now if guys, I'll just show you the example what I have written here, and accordingly we can comment it here. Meanwhile, if you are getting any questions, and I am writing it inside this. So what are the things I am writing? You say here now, A11. What will happen once this instance block processing is done? Then for this A12 local variable, memory will be destroyed, and since the memory will be destroyed, we cannot access here outside the block here. We cannot write it here, so we are not able to access it here, correct? Now you see one more thing. Inside this instance block, we are able to access all these instance and static member of a class. Why? Because for all of the variables what we are accessing, memory which is there has already been allocated into these cases, correct? And next here inside this, here you can see inside this static block we cannot access it. How we cannot access it? See here, A, I am not able to access. Why I am not able to access this A? Because it is a instance variable and that we cannot access inside the static context. At the next point here, see, if I will write or if I will try to access B or sorry C, we will be able to access here. The same story for the local block and local variable as like the previous one and all. Here constructor processing and all will be done in the same manner. Here you see, inside the instance method or the static method we have written few things. What is that few things I have written here now? Inside the show method I am writing here. What is that I am writing now? We have M1 method. Well, I have written here the M2 method. All these sort of things as I have written here into this. M1 as well as the M2 I am writing into this. Clear? Then you see here these all things are allowed because whenever this method is going to be processed, remember one thing, that it is an instance property of a class, instance method of class. So this can be called only once you are creating the object of a class. When you are not creating any object of a class, this is not going to be processed at all at any point of time. And now next what we have is the static method we are having. What we are having? We are having that is the static method. Inside this static methods we have declared these all will be treated as a local variable. And accordingly all other things are going to be processed. Here M1 we have. M1 cannot be accessed inside the static context. And here A, if I will write it here A, so if I want to access class level variable A, B, C, so I must have to write here this dot A, this dot B as well as this dot C. But you remember one thing, that this is an instance reference variable, so we cannot use this inside the static context. This is also one of the important question. But yes, if you want to access the C, which is a class label, so I can write here hello.c, there is no problem, we can access it. And now here you can understand, guys. So just keep it in mind. Yesterday I have explained many things about these all things, and tomorrow guys we are going to start a topic called as inheritance. What we are going to start? A topic called as inheritance I am going to start. And if you have any questions, any doubts, you can write here. Okay, so good night to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow on the same time. Thank you.